Hi guys, welcome to today's daily reading. This reading is for October 7th, which I believe is a Monday because I'm at work. Thank you so much to my hands who are being kind enough to help with the reading today. So before I jump in today's reading, guys, some messages came through from Spirit, and I do believe that they will be giving me a lot of messages through all of my videos. If you haven't noticed, more personal messages are coming through. Also, when I respond to the comments on the videos, sometimes messages come through for certain people, and so I always honor that and I write it. Anyway, so the messages that I heard, and these are going to specific people. The first thing that I heard, well, this one's for everybody. They said, stick up for yourself, but also let it go. And they were also talking to me because I'm having trouble letting things go for myself. But they're saying in your relationships, yes, stick up for yourself, set those boundaries, but also let it go. And let it go means let go of all of the non-lesson related things. Whatever it is that you are experiencing that is blocking you. It could be something as simple as like, this person didn't respond to me for 3 days. They let my text sit there unread. So when they finally respond, I'm going to do the same. So that kind of energy is less in line with putting up boundaries. And there's a little bit for putting up boundaries, of course, so you don't get hurt again. But part of that is also something that you need to let go. And following right on that same vein is a message that they were giving me, and then they're like, you should mention that in the video. I was like, oh, okay, I guess. I don't know if everyone wants to hear that, but but if they ask. So what it is that they told me is that part of the reason why I can't let go, and why a lot of you guys can't let go to certain connections in your life, is because there is a deep feeling of lack of self-worth that underlies everything. And there's this sense of, I think I spoke about this on a video before, but there's this sense of, for example, this person hasn't responded to my text. It's been 3 days now, okay? All right, okay. You don't want to respond to my text? Good. So when you text, I'm not going to respond to your text. You know why? Because you can't fire me. I quit. All right? And so a lot of times that's that pride that is sitting underneath that level of pain and that feeling of vengeance. It's a pride thing where it's like, well, how dare you put me out to pasture? I'm the one who should put you out to pasture. How dare you? And you know what? Underneath that is this feeling of selflessness. Not selflessness, is this lack of self-worth that is there. And if you think about it, why is it that we need the love and attention? Why is it that we need the attention and or the love in that order from somebody who clearly is not in a mental space at the time to give that to us? And that's because on some level we need validation. And the validation that we're seeking, whether we're aware of it or not, is very simple. I need to know that I have value. I need to know that I matter. And if this person doesn't give me attention, then on some level, that wounded part of me, that wounded child, feels that I have no value. It's evidence to support that I am unlovable, I'm not needed, I'm a mistake, and the list goes on from there. So Spirit says that, you know what? When we work on our feelings of self-worth, that will be the unraveling of a knot that is keeping us stuck. Now, does that mean that if you work on yourself and you start to build your self-worth that you're going to lose this partner? You know what? In some cases, yeah, because they need to be lost, right? Because you've put out there a net, like a fisherman's net, that is pulling in certain kind of fish and you don't want that. But you know what? For some of us, that person feels that energetic shift, and if it's meant to be your mate, that person will shift along with it, and you guys will grow together. And there's only one way to find out, right? Another message that Spirit brought through for at least one of you, maybe one of you, but the way I see it is maybe a few of you, they're saying, God bless, that divorce is coming for some of you. And I have the feeling that you already know this, and they're saying that it will likely turn out in your favor, okay? So divorce is coming for some of you, and it will likely turn out in your favor. To opening it back up to everybody, generally speaking, they also add that they believe that you should open a new door to life and see who steps through it. So they're also asking me to mention that when these personal messages come out, they sometimes there's a spokesperson who comes, like for example, all of you guys listening, all of your guides are listening to, and they're with me as I make this video. So sometimes if there are like 6 people who are going through a divorce, for example, and this message needs to come through to all 6 of them because they have a shared experience, maybe one of their guides will step forward and ask me to mention this. So please know that this information is not only coming from my higher guides and all of that, they're also coming from your guides. They literally step in and say, oh, can you mention that? And I'm like, okay. And so please take that and feel comforted. So they're saying that they want to let you know that they're hearing your prayers. So they're saying keep watching, even if your prayer, your specific prayer that you've been talking to your guides about or asking God for isn't mentioned in any video, that it might be mentioned in tomorrow's video or later today's video, because they're actively working. It's a vast network, guys. Let's just keep it, let's say it like that. So anyway, they said, so open a new door to life and see who steps in and see who steps through. Yes. And they're showing me that the person who steps through is going to be the one who is going to make the effort. Now, some of us are dealing with some people who are not making efforts, and those who are making efforts are not making clean efforts and right efforts. But when you open a new door to life, start that new step. They're saying, see who steps through it. It's beautiful. Another message that came in says, let the calming waters of freedom soothe you and raise your perspective a notch or two. When I got that message, what came through for me, like what made sense to me to tell you guys, is that a lot of you may be feeling like, oh, I don't have this person in my life. Oh, I'm going through a divorce. Oh, I'm losing this. You're seeing yourself as losing something. They're also acknowledging somebody whose son, or maybe daughter, but I'm feeling son is going away to college and is feeling very lonely. Maybe you have mentioned this to your husband or wife. I feel it may be a female that's listening and her husband if she's married, but maybe you've mentioned this to other people, maybe you haven't, but there's a feeling of lack and a feeling of loneliness that's setting in because this son is going away to college. They're also talking to you. They're saying that, hey, everybody. That's what they're saying. Slow motion. Taste the freedom. This is freedom, they're saying. This is freedom. Take your life back. Let the calming waters of freedom, let that awareness come through. Wait, I can get up anytime I want now. Oh my God, I don't have to make 2 cups of coffee. I can make 1. No, you know what? I'm making 2 cups and I'm drinking them both. They're letting you know, let the calming waters of freedom soothe you and raise your perspective a notch or two. So don't allow yourself to be pulled down into despair. Whatever it is and whoever you are, if you're feeling lost and you're getting lost in the loss, they're saying that flip that script, okay? And see that as freedom. When you lose something, change it, change the perspective and see yourself as being opened up to something else. Change it to being free first of something so that you can be free to be open. They're showing me like this idea of a prison. In many ways, of course, we have cupcake prisons where it's, Martha Stewart went when she went to prison, God bless her. It's not like some hard supermax prison somewhere else. So there are different levels of prisons, but the idea is freedom is still a sweet concept following any kind of imprisonment, regardless of the level of imprisonment. All right. Next message they brought through is when I'm being shown that for somebody there is a connection where there's this feeling of being 2 ships passing in the night. They said like 2 ships passing in the night here. And so there may be a situation where you guys are coexisting together, but maybe it's kind of like for some reason the connection isn't, you're not making the connection with each other. Or maybe it could be married. I'm feeling someone in New York this is for. So I'm feeling this is for somewhere. When I stumble, it's because literally I'm fighting for words as spirit jumps in. I'm feeling somewhere in New York there is somebody who is having this situation. But right next to it, I am being drawn to see, whoa, King of Wands, Queen of Wands. There may be a child conceived through this, but either way, there may not be, but there may be. But I'm seeing that even though, look, this is a match. They're like two ships passing in the night. I'm seeing these two people occupying the same space, but not really making a connection. Maybe good morning, hi, how's your day, going through the motions, but something's missing, okay? Next message that came through is they're saying, and this is to everybody, be more open to trusting individuals. Now, when I say trusting individuals, I'm not talking about trusting the gerund, which is the noun form of the verb to trust, trusting. Be more open to what? Trusting people. That's I guess that you can see it that way if that's how you heard it. But I'm using the word trusting as an adjective. Be more open to trusting individuals. Be more open to individuals who trust others. That's what I mean. Because they're saying that those people who are able to trust others and who demonstrate an ability, sometimes even an easy ability to trust others, those tend to be the people who can be trusted. So I feel that that's a message for some of you. Maybe you've been asking, well, who can I trust then? Because I'm trying, I'm doing everything I think I should. But you know what? Look at people. Do they trust easily? If they trust easily, chances are they can be trusted, because you know what? They say if you spot it, you got it. These are people who aren't seeing distrust everywhere. Why are you seeing so much distrust everywhere? Yes, it could be because you've been hurt before, but a lot of people who see distrust everywhere, yes, of course they've been hurt, but some of them have turned into people who can't be trusted as well. And some of them are just people who can't be trusted. So that's Spirit's advice. If you're looking for people to trust, look for people who trust easily. And then don't break that trust, okay? That's on you. The next message that came through, the last message that came through for everybody, this one seems very specific. I'm seeing somebody who works in some kind of job who has to share opinions, and maybe you're frustrated because you find yourself in boardroom meetings or in group meetings where a lot of people are doing a lot of yakety-yakking, they're talking a lot, and they're in their brains, and there's this sense of feeling like they're the ones who can contribute, and there's just this feeling of ugh, because you want to say stuff too, but for whatever reason either you don't feel confident doing so, or other people feel like they're more entitled, or they're there to share their opinions over you, or I feel a lot of them feel that they have more authority, like their opinions have more authority and precedence over you. Spirit is saying that if that's you, they're saying have more confidence in the boardroom. Let the brainy ones in the room get a taste of their own medicine. Let those people know. Speak your mind and be concise and let them know. Be practical. Practicality always wins. But you know what they said? They also added that intellectual arrogance is the worst. Yeah, and trust me, I've done the whole master's degree, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I see it all the time. I've seen it a lot. It's the worst, okay? It's the worst. So they're saying that. All right, so let's get into the actual card reading. Thank you so much, Spirit, for coming through with messages. You know I always welcome personal messages through my videos for people. All right, so let's take a look. I'm going to pause so I can look at the cards. Thank you, Spirit, for the messages that come through, and bless all of you guys. Okay, so let's get started. Today's message comes to us through the Page of Swords. For today, you guys may be receiving some kind of small message or communication. It could very well be this video. As I look at all of these cards are all about empowerment. Gracias a Dios. They're all about empowerment. The angels speak today of you reclaiming your authority. Whenever I see this card here, it definitely shows me somebody who is on the spiritual path. It's a 25 card, 7 card. But this person who's on the spiritual path, they may be feeling very at a loss. They may be feeling shell-shocked from what's going on. I see them being at a little bit of a timeout in a sense, just kind of being like going through the motions, a little shocked. This could be a lot of us. This speaks to me of a sense of trauma that comes as a result of being in the words in this relationship wanted to come out. I was going to say in this world, but in this relationship. I see this cute little seal in the back looking off into the distance. This is this person still looking and waiting and hoping for somebody. This is them also on a higher plane. I see the wisdom. This is a lot of wisdom. And look, oh my God, every time this little, oh my God, this guy is so cute. This shows me that there are people who are here to benefit from your pain. They need you to look at them. They need you to transmute this painful energy and bring that into something that can be beneficial for the world. Where do I channel my pain? Into these videos. And I noticed that through these videos, a lot of people have my shared experience. Sometimes different details, but shared experiences. And we heal together, and that is the beauty. Now, how many people are needing to heal through your pain as well? But I'm seeing that here. Spirit says for you, get back out there. Reclaim your authenticity. I forgot. Was it Maxine Waters? Who was it? That woman who was like, reclaiming my time. Love that. You go look that up if you haven't seen it. Google that. Reclaiming my time. That's you reclaiming your authenticity. Good Lord, your authority. You are strong. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. I don't work with people who are not strong already to get this. We're all strong, but you guys are very strong, and you're here to get these messages. God knows that, okay? So go out there and meet up with other people who need these messages. The second energy that God is bringing through for you today is that freedom again. They're saying, listen, acknowledge what you have. You have agency. You are able to be authentic. You have claim over your own reactions, your own actions. Step in, and I'm seeing a woman working in a job. It might be like an accounting department or something like that, working with other people. I need you to step into your power. I need you to step into your power. This can be anybody, but I see this person looking African American to me. You know what? And if this resonates with any of you, take it. But step into your power. You know better than that. You know you're working with a lot of young knuckleheads. They don't know which end is up. They may wear a tie. They may wear a suit. They may make more money than you. But listen, you know what's up. And you hold your head high because you know what the real true north is. And you are oriented towards that. And that's where you need to be. When they get a little bit older and they have experiences that teach them and humble them, they're going to be understanding you. You're light years ahead. And that goes to a lot of other people. So they're saying enjoy that freedom. You may be around people who don't have that awareness, but when you have this awareness of your strength and awareness of the time you actually have available, the money you have actually available, the resources, whether or not they're a lot or a little bit, you realize that all of these things are God's gifts, and you say thank you, and you know that within that you are free and provided for. And that's for everybody. So acknowledge the freedom with gratitude. They're also saying that you're empowered because you have the ability to manifest what you want. Look at this lovely woman. She's literally conjuring up water in the shape and face of herself. Look at that. And through her creation, she is one. Look at her beautiful leg. It's just like that water. How long are you going to pretend that you don't control your field? And that you don't control the energy around you. When I said field, I'm seeing somebody working. It does seem like a woman, but if this resonates with everybody else, please do take it. I'm seeing a woman working in a man's world. Maybe this is engineering or some kind of, it's like something that has to do with tech, like engineering, machinery, heavy machinery. I'm seeing you needing to check things out, maybe, for example, wind turbines, and you respond to calls where you go and you check it out. Could be any kind of big machine that you, what would that be called, an engineer? They help in the upkeep, and you're working in a man's world. They're saying, look, you know you can control your field. So everybody on this call, stop playing small. Don't play small anymore. There's no reason, because you literally control your field, you manifest. And I'm sure maybe you guys have noticed that I started that playlist for manifestation, so feel free to check that out over time. I'll add more ideas, and if you have ideas for prayers, please send it. But I'm seeing that. Program your field. What do you want? What do you see? Okay? Next thing they're saying is that all of you are in gestation. you have this ability to create. Start using it. You know how to manifest. May I direct you to a lovely reader? There's a reader on YouTube that reminds me so much of me. I know that sounds weird, but when I saw her, I was like, that's me. And that is where I see myself. And I was so happy to see that reflected back to me. And because I see someone else out there filling that space, and I knew that I wasn't where I wanted to be yet, but I knew that one day I would be, and that I saw that people were getting messages and finding themselves. And her name, this is her YouTube channel, like her setup, everything. I was like, dude, that is so me. And her name is, her channel is Jonella's Divine Tarot. And I love it, so shout out. She did a really great video called about manifesting, like how I manifest. Sorry, I forgot the name of it. Check her out. Her name is Jonetta's, Shonetta apostrophe S, Jonetta's Divine Tarot. She's great, and she will help you. Following that, on that, there's another person. I think her name is what is her name? I think the Priest Tarot, or the Tarot Priest. Great stuff. Anyway, wanted to bring that through. It might be helpful for some of you. But Shonetta has a really great manifestation video. She has 2 of them. Please check it out. But a lot of you, these 2 cards go together. Start programming, feeling that. Does it feel good? If there's something you don't like about it, change it. Okay? Yes, they're showing me you can also do that for love. Hey. Let me give you a little secret. We live in multiple realities. Some of these realities are so similar that there's only one thing that's changed. Okay? So ask yourself, what reality do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the reality where your person that you've been wanting disrespects you, treats you like crap? Or do you want to be in the reality where you get the best version of that person? Of course, you're going to have to be the best version of yourself to be able to track that. But it's possible to jump those timelines, so to speak. Okay? There's another person I love. Her name is Cynthia Sue Larson. Check her out. She does a lot of work with time shifts and reality shifts. Check her out, Cynthia Sue Larson. God bless. Anyway, let's move on. So I'm also seeing Spirit's message today is don't let your past hold you back. Just don't do it. Look at all of this. They're saying, and this is why they come forward with a Page of Swords. This should be King of Swords information. They're saying you are strong. You have your authenticity, you have your integrity, you have your authority. Acknowledge the freedom that you have. Say thank you, God. See where you are getting it, where you understand what needs to be done. Acknowledge that. Acknowledge your resources. And they're saying manifest, dream. What you want can be made reality. And don't be afraid to let go of things from your past. Don't let that past hold you back. Does that mean let go? Or does that mean sometimes change your perspective? Let's go with right. Change your perspective. When you change your perspective, you change the way you see things. Let's just look at a very mind-altering, mind-blowing concept. We know listen, we love our constellations, okay? We love our Sirius, not Sirius. We love our what do you call them? Oh my God. Orion's belt. We love our Orion constellation. We love what else? The Aries constellation. We love the Big Dipper. We love all of that stuff. But hold on a second. When you look up in the sky and you see the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper and all of those things, if you were to leave Earth and be on another planet, for example, Spirit is saying that's true, or be in another, from another vantage point in space, you will no longer be able to see your Little Dipper. Yes, you can see the celestial bodies that make up the Little Dipper, but they won't appear as a Little Dipper to you anymore because your vantage point has changed. And so what they're trying to say is just like that, know that where you are, there is another way. And it is your job to use all of these tools to get yourself to a different perspective so that you can see why does God keep saying, it just said 24:44, why does God keep saying you can forgive? How can I turn the other cheek? How can I ever forgive this person for breaking my ribs? How can I ever, you know what? There are people out there doing that. I'm not saying I'm one of them. I'm on this journey too. But you hear about mothers whose only sons have been murdered brutally, and yet they come to adopt the murderer, even so much so that after the murderer gets out of jail, they take them into their lives as their own son. They live together under the same roof. That is somebody who has transmuted. That is someone who has given themselves up. That is someone who wields their strengths for the sake of creating a new reality on earth for the rest of us to see. They've changed their perspective. That's a miracle. A Course in Miracles tells us, that's my favorite book ever, A Course in Miracles tells us that a miracle is merely a change in perspective, a change in perception. All right, so let's talk to God about that. Let's move on. So for today's message, they're also saying nothing is yet set in stone. If there's something that you don't like, change your perception, change your manifestation, and don't let those emotions hold you back. Now what I'm seeing here is you getting to work, excited. Get excited. Get excited. Be excited about what you can do. Go get that journal. Go get that new book. Go get that pen. Go get that computer. Whatever it is, get excited. Work on it. And know that if you don't like the design, you could pop it right back out. Why? Because you are the master maker. You are the center of your own environment, your own universe. And God knows that. Surrender. They're also saying that some of you may be caught in a trap where you make your creations, but you don't want to let them go. What does that mean? If you make that if you make that book, if you make that portfolio, if you make that project, if you come up with that idea, let it go. There are many other ideas to be had. Anything that you create should be in service to the world on some level. So be careful that you don't create and then get stuck in the "this is mine" mentality. Expansion requires letting go. And how can you let go? By acknowledging that you have no ownership over what you create. It doesn't belong to you, it belongs to God, right? And if you are everybody and everybody's you, then how can it only belong to you? All right? So let's think about that. And they're saying sometimes all you need to do is give a little effort, a little right effort, because look at this person. That's you, super cute. Page of Wands. This is you with your effort. They're showing, see this hand? It always looks weird. It looks like, I know it's supposed to be this kid holding it, but it looks like somebody is handing it to him. God is saying that all that you hold, including these relationships, they're saying, God bless, all that you hold doesn't belong to you, okay? These ideas that come through you, they come through you. God gives you an idea, and then, just like this, you release it into the world for healing and for helping. It's going to heal other people. It's going to help other people. And they're saying, and this is the biggest hurdle, they're saying let those ideas and those creations be refined. We create something and we want it to stay the same. A person writes a book. The book then becomes a script. The script then becomes a movie. The movie then becomes a play. And along those lines, everybody, like that, like how is that first book writer supposed to feel when their work keeps changing and changing and changing and changing? It's going to hurt, but they have to know that it came through them, and they know that that work is open to being refined. Let it go. Because sometimes God needs it to be refined by other people to give them experiences, and for those new works to take on an energy signature that that person was carrying so that it could reach other people. And so they're saying to let it go. I'm seeing a mother with a child who needs to let the child go. I'm seeing that there's a little bit too much holding on to. It could be the same one I was picking up earlier with the son going off to college, but it doesn't need to be. This child needs to have experiences, they're saying. And when you hold on too tight, you're stopping this child from having experiences. I think that you're feeling that maybe this child won't be able to know how to wield themselves. They won't know what opportunities to go towards, but I'm actually seeing that this person has everything they need. They're saying that if you release this person, they will step up and take control of their lives, and they will surprise you in many ways. Okay? They're saying that you can overlook them and oversee them, but let them be in control, because you're not going to be around for the rest of their lives, God bless, right? You know? Anyway. Also, last message, they said that when you build it, other people will come to share your vision and help. Okay? So we're seeing here, this is a production process, a divine production process that we're seeing. Nothing is yet set in stone. Ideas that come to you flow, and you add something to it. You create it, and you release it to the universe. It helps people. God takes it, and then it is then directed to other people who come to share your vision. They may come to add to it. They may come to refine it. But either way, it's sent out into the world for the purposes of love, okay? So don't let your past hold you back. My great people, yay! All right, somebody needs to go to work, and it's me. So thank you so much, you guys. Bless you guys. This one came through straight from God for you as usual. I pray for all of you today, and I hope that you acknowledge yourself and get into alignment with yourself, and you know that all that comes to you is merely here to help you along your journey. Your biggest goal is to choose a perception that is in the light, choose a perception that can be extended forward. It can lead to forgiveness. It can open doors for you. It can acknowledge goodness within you. And if you are ever looking bad in that idea that you have, for example, in the perception that you're holding, if you see yourself as not worthy, if you see yourself as not cute enough or not sexy enough, I can assure you that is actually the wrong perception. Okay? Just make that be known. When you see yourself as not having enough or needing to do so many things before you can have success, that is the wrong perception. And you know how you know? Because there are people making money in their sleep. Some guy came up with an idea for a paperclip holder, and now he's on a boat somewhere, on a yacht. He doesn't even have an office. He's just making money. There are people who write one book, and it sets them up for the rest of their lifetime and their children's lifetimes and their children's lifetimes. So you know that you can have. And there are people who like totally trip and fall on the pavement, and somebody took video of that, and it's extremely funny. They end up on Ellen. They get free money. They start getting endorsements. They start doing all kinds of things, and God starts working with them to help other people. So you too have something coming for you. You have the ability, so get out of your own way is what God's saying. All right, thank you so much. Mwah. I love you guys. Bye.